guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time coming, but I'm finally back. Where have I been? Where have you been?
Everywhere.
Busy kidogo, but I'm finally back. So today I have my friends here and we're gonna talk about something very beneficial and something very
entertaining.
It's not entertaining.
Let me entertain. Me now entertain. If I'm missed after your quarter.
But anyway, allow them to introduce themselves. My name is Whitney Akinyi.
My name is Diana Mbuvi. Welcome to Whitney's channel. I also have a channel. Kindly subscribe.
I'll leave the link down in the description box.
My name is Ken, Whitney's friend. I don't have much. I don't have a channel.
What do you have?
You have.
I have a company channel. It's not like a personal channel like mine, so I don't have one. Caleb?
My name is Caleb. I work with Ken. We have a channel together. What's funny?
You guys have a channel.
It's a company channel.
Anyway, we'll talk more about it as we go on.
Yeah, so anyway, in today's video we're going to talk about life in our 20s. I picked this particular topic because we've entered a phase in our lives where so many things are happening, so many expectations are in our lives are expected of us if you come in English, and like things are really happening in lives, getting babies, pregnant. Babies not pregnant, the same thing. Jobs, like everything is really changing.
It's just so scary.
It's a lot.
Adulthood.
Yeah.
Yes. In summary, I don't think anyone was ready for this, which is why I picked this particular topic. So, who wants to start us off? You.
Ladies first.
Tell us.
Graduated, so she has a lot of points.
So I personally feel like these are our best years, but still the worst, the absolute ghetto.
Hey, the best years are not ahead of you.
Sindio easy kwa now. Unasema hivyo 3 years ago. Like it's very scary being like transitioning from being a kid to an adult, and there's no particular manual, there's no book.
Yeah.
Everyone's story and life is different. So where's the kwanza? I wish me
kuna venye tungekuwa tu the same yende ni copy because I'm good at copying.
To be honest.
Copycat.
Babe, I'm so good at copying.
Copy paste.
I'm so good at that, like following instructions. I wish kungekuwa na mayo.
That's following.
Who do you look up to?
My mom.
Copy.
Yeah, true.
Copy her. Copy paste. No per solution. Think about it.
Hapo nayo.
Umegonga ndiko.
Solving problems.
And you need to copy my mom.
But yeah, that's true. I think me personally, life has just been so, I can't even put it into words, because one day you feel like you're really progressing, the next day it's like, okay, that's not the way. I catch a woman that 10 steps ahead, the next day it's 5 steps back. So finding that whole balance between, you know, work, career, discovering yourself, relationships, friendships, nini, it's crazy.
Kwanza your story ya discover myself. I feel like that has been the hardest part like about all this, because like wanasemanga this is the age where you learn yourself and unlearn some things. Now that unlearning,
such a hard thing.
Ningumu, like you have to let go of some aspects of yourself. And like maybe you weren't ready or like prepared for all that.
Especially because we've been brought up in a certain way, so our life has been designed, like we've been designed to think in a certain way, act in a certain way, based on how we've been brought up, who we've been brought up with, where. So you discover that that's not right, I should do this instead. But that whole aspect of trusting yourself,
just tell us,
excuse me, that whole aspect of trying to trust that the decision you're making and the choice you're making is right for you, I think that's the hardest part. I believe you boys can attest to that, because you definitely have a testimony to share.
Seriously. But anyway, first things first. I think. What do you mean? What do people mean when that's what I've been thinking about when they say like you discover yourself. Because if I think about it, I've really tried to like frame that into something concrete. As part of anything. Like
like you don't think like siku moja uta discover like discovery your personal discovery is not finite.
Exactly. Yes. You're always evolving.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're trying to play a game which you can't win. Unajaribu kitu huwezi ifanya.
Yeah.
Try to find solutions to things which will change definitely.
Yeah.
So like your career, maybe you can say I'll do this, but 5 years down the line you can change.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to. So, so I think that's what I'd say. Like you keep changing, keep evolving. So like for me, you don't settle on. I no longer try to discover myself. I try to evolve.
Wow, that's great. Even to add on to that, I think we as young people in this age, your 20s, understanding that it's okay to change your mind.
Exactly.
You know, like it's you can't, nothing is cast on stone. You know, and it's our parents. Ni huyu nimeolewa naye haya hadi mwisho. You know, for better for worse, ataka mambo ni ngumu.
Yeah.
You can change. You know, career wise, and it's okay.
And marriage wise.
Kwa nini nimesema hivi?
Me marriage wise Mr. Kick change. Mi ukinioa ni mimi peke yangu bro. There's no way you're going. Mr. Kick.
Na homie? No.
Mi kwanza
But she's saying it's okay to change.
Yeah, like don't suffer because wamesema. You know, society has said you should not leave marriages, you know.
Now that brings us to then you'll unasema story ya ku make decisions. Unakumbuka leo mami akisema there's some decisions when you make in your 20s or I don't know which age they will affect you for life, especially with partners. And me now that is one decision I don't want to fumble.
Yes.
Like I want Nikki choose.
So how are you planning to make it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Sasa hiyo ndio inakuwa shida. Kuna manual
something in relation to that. Actually share some thought process. Like how do you like settle on? Because you're scared of picking the person.
I'm really scared of choosing a wrong partner.
So when you're scared, what do you think will happen? Like he was arguing that if you're scared of picking a person,
Which book is that?
it's not a book, it's a blog. So you've got two random thoughts. If you're scared of picking a person, what you'll end up doing is you make a decision based on fear. And if it's based on fear, there are things you fear. You don't just fear, like you either fear, time is running out. So maybe wait till the last minute.
Or experience.
Or you're feared of even the commitment or the responsibility that comes with it. So you try and run away from such things. I think it'll go too crystal clear to me that you should first of all know what you're fearing. At least it helps you like now outline, okay, this is what I want, this is what I don't want.
By then having that clear balance of like having that clarity of this is what I want, this is what I don't want. It helps you eliminate a lot of unnecessary pressures, relationships. Like it saves you from a lot. I think a lot of people or a lot of us have not cultivated that whole essence of creating boundaries within ourselves and with others. Hey Caleb, for 10 years.
With others how? What do you mean?
See, now I'm creating a boundary with you.
Like there's something
you can't do to me. Even you, there's something you can niongelesha vile unataka. Nikikuangalia. That's a boundary I've created, you know. And maybe you know I've made it clear. Being able to express it to people, I think that's one of the things people lack the courage to do.
Yeah.
But it saves you from so much.
Personally, no, gopanga set boundaries. I won't lie. I lack the courage to say. So most of the times, I just let things slide because maybe I want to keep that relationship with that person. So I allow them to cross boundaries, which I'm unlearning. Okay, I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's good to learn. But now the thing, like, as we keep talking with Ken, Ken, remember the book you're telling me about the defining decade in your 20s? So 20s is the time to define your decade. So, but now falling on the point you're saying, what you're afraid to like bring it out or whatever, I've learned this through both in our business, relationships, and all. Letting things slide. So like the book for originals is the book I'm currently reading, Adam Grant. When you're faced with choices to make, especially when it's the hard choices, you have 4 choices to make. Okay, when something is really disturbing you, either you exit, you voice it, you persist, or you neglect it. Now you see yours, the one by saying you're afraid and all doing that, you're just persisting, you're just letting it slide, you're sort of neglecting and letting it slide. Now those 2 combinations will not help you change the status quo. It won't help you change anything.
You're just prolonging it.
You're just prolonging it, so you're just adding. Local therapy.
Think
But, and that's, think about
Just
it,
where?
both in relationships and also in business, especially relationships. If you let something slide, you just keep adding on it. I've experienced it. You're just adding on it. You're not talk about everything, finances. If someone is boring you, cause like Adam Smith says, when it comes to marriage, one of the most, not Adam Smith, Jordan Peterson, when it comes to marriage or relationships, the hardest thing to do is to tell each other the truth.
Yeah.
So whenever you're in any relationship, you two have to do something like tie yourself handcuffs and now tell each other the truth without anyone running away, because telling the truth
literally
is very
handcuff
hard.
someone.
Yeah.
Like
Literally.
Yeah,
I think for
like-
some cases,
okay, not literally, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell the truth to someone. You trust Whitney so much that if you tell her the truth, you're sure she won't go running telling someone else.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's also creating the proper relationships with people. But anyway, so letting your things persist. So the best thing you can do is to voice it. If you voice it and talk about it, it will be much better than letting it slide.
Yeah.
Because they normally say the greatest regret you'll have in future will be about omission, not commission. When you omit things and not do anything
Yes.
about it.
Don't move over from school.
Because the youngest. But anyway,
ningekuja na notebook.
but yeah,
that was just my point on what you were saying. I was just adding on it. If maybe I move on and talk about the 20s, because I think we've already introduced. I think
wait,
20.
can I let me cut you short?
No
Sorry.
problem, no problem.
Just to add on to that, I believe that. What point you put How? I've forgotten the point I wanted to. I've remembered. When it comes to relationships, this is the greatest lesson I've learned. Everything has got to be cultivated. Trust, learning how to communicate, like learning boundaries. You have to cultivate. Yani nika umeenda shule sasa unasoma huyu mtu umejisoma na sasa you're coming now to synergize.
Naitwa investment.
Yeah, bana.
Invest.
Yeah, it's a very big investment.
So which one comes first? Lazima ujisome.
Lazima ujijue, because you can't know how to love me if I don't know how to love me. Is that true or false?
True. I agree.
It's true, because
I agree.
kuna venye maybe there are things that I like. Maybe I like gentleman courtesy. Mimi utanifungulia mlango, unibebe vitu zangu nini. That's what I like, you know. And if I don't know that, or I'm not sure about that, and you don't do it, naanza kukasirika over small things yet ujui. You know, that's why now people say it's petty. Yeah,
Or you're crazy.
You're crazy. Yeah, siko clear on what I want. Na wewe hujaelewa. Unanipata? Umenipata hapo?
Hapo tumeelewa.
Patanisho.
So in your 20s, I think 20s is one of the, speaking from experience, I'm not yet in my 30s, but 20s I think has been the best decade so far, because 25, over 25 now.
Who is we?
Big boys out there, the big boys.
Kwani unaongea hapo
Who you?
One student.
Hey.
She just graduated, guys.
Umeinsist.
Hata mimi niligraduate.
job market bado.
Hiyo kwanza ni topic ingine.
Good.
Like jobs ziko.
Jobs iko, skill set ndio iko. So anyway.
No.
Aki.
I think
Job iko.
Jobs iko, Whitney. A
Skill set
lot.
ndio
Skill set ndio hakuna. Continue thinking.
competence.
Yes.
The same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
True.
that's
Competence
true.
na skill set
Yes,
is-
yes, you're right.
Anyway, so I was saying, so defining decade, the 20s. So I think it's been the best because so far this is the amount of time. So Ken and I dropped out of school. I always have to talk about this. We dropped out of school in our 20, to start a business or rather to do our own personal things. So we decided to go against the status quo and sort of challenge it, and by being original. And we decided to take a career path, and that career path has really opened our minds to learn a lot. So we really, what Whitney was saying, you need to, you know what you've learned so far, now you need to unlearn it, and now know what you want to wire your mind, okay? Which is very important. So that's what we've been doing for the past 4 or 5 years, and I swear it's the best experience, which I can swear to it, we will never learn it in school. Like literally not. I don't even think they teach it in school, because out here these are life skills basically. We are basically learning how to live with ourselves, because we tend to be our worst enemies. Like through experience, through like I don't speak about this much, but these days I like speaking about it. When, let's say, you go through relationships and all, so like people like talking a lot about about their strengths, but it's also good to be very open about your weaknesses, so that whenever you're moving to the next relationship, you know the person who's coming knows what they're working with. So for example, like I'm very poor at communication. I'm the worst communicator.
Nata empathy
and a zero.
Anakuanga nayo, but showing just
she's
show.
not expressive.
Like it's okay to love someone.
Moving on.
So being honest with yourself, understanding yourself, what we were saying, understand yourself, and then be open with it. Be open, because once you're open with it, you can be open to change, and that's the only way you can adapt in this ever-changing world. But moving forward, so that's all I have to say for my team.
Well, you really have to be open to change. Unajua ukikwama in that rigid thinking, this is how things are supposed to be, this is what I wanted, even though inafaa kuwa, you know, you add, okay, is your future that bright? Who?
Let me be
Me wacha niseme ingine. My 20s is where I have discovered my traumas and how they affect how I behave around people, in my relationships, and it's something
I've never seen you in a relationship.
Exactly, because
I swear I've never
these are
seen you in a relationship.
these are traumas who affect how I handle my relationships. Bado hatujasikiza. So it's something that's really hard and difficult to accept, because the way they're saying, oh, accept change, oh, nini. When I was growing up, I changed a lot of things. We moved so much. I moved to so many schools. I think I've gone to 8 schools my whole life. We moved. I met new people so many times. I don't even know who was who. So now I don't like that. I really don't like meeting new people. I don't like experiencing new people, because I feel like I went through that at that time and I got tired. Now ubaya ni people will keep coming and going. Locations will keep changing. Situations will keep changing. I have no choice but to accept the fact that even if I'm attached to these people or this person, they will change or they will go. And there's nothing. There's probably nothing I can do. Maybe at this time, I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You are.
I think so. It's hard. By the way, it's hard. By the way, for real, it's so hard. I'm trying to adapt.
Because for some people, it's very normal. Like,
me, I hate that. I'm trying to adapt and accepting some things that when I was a kid were okay. Like you get mimi kwanza chanix mimi shida ilikuwa parents wangu aki walikuwa na problems. So me venye walikuwa napendana haikuwa vizuri. Hivyo ndio nilikuwa najua. Hivyo ndio nilikuwa naona.
That's what you're fearing now.
That is what I'm scared of. How my dad used to deal with issues with my mom is what I'm scared of. Because I don't want my children to see that.
You don't want to repeat.
I don't want that cycle. And unlearning that it's hard. It's so heartbreaking, guys. It's so heartbreaking.
It's deep as shit.
It's so deep. Well, maybe you make that's a whole other topic, guys. Also.
You think kwanza hadi mimi lakini saa yangu niko na friendship trauma. Babe, all my friends leave.
They just be leaving.
I swear, all my friends.
Okay, babe, not all of them.
They leave you, don't know who's leaving.
The situations that happen make it just I gotta go.
Like things just happen abruptly, and hadi I avoid cultivating some friendships because I don't want to get attached and then something happens uniache.
Ama ibidi ni kuache.
Ibidi, you know. So me that's usually my fear.
Maybe you assume they're your friends and they're not.
No, we were close, babe. See what we did. I know. There's no assuming.
Denial.
It's the first stage.
The most predictable human
responses.
Okay, nini mnajua manini?
Ndio mlikuwa friends ama?
Mlikuwa friends na wao manini?
Also babe, hiyo ni ya accept people come and go and it's okay.
Yeah. I think
also,
even
me, I'm also learning that.
Yeah, it's part of growing up. Accepting that your friends will also evolve.
Yeah.
Miracles of miracles, that's what Peterson calls it. They'll change, you'll make new ones.
Yeah.
So
they'll also
if someone
change.
lives, it's like physics, action and reaction. For every
action there's an equal reaction.
So yeah, so it might not be instantly. In future it's leaving space for someone else. So it's leaving a lot of space for your future husband.
Okay,
you need to be really close friends.
Amen.
Really close.
We babe, kama how friends wako wangekuacha ningekuwa friend yako? No. Exactly. Am I not a cool friend? Excuse, am I not a cool friend?
That's not
Guy, why are you thinking about it?
Dojo.
Hey, you think he's mad?
Okay, money.
Can I say something? I have realized that money comes and money goes and it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's part of life. Like my point is, Ken, unakwanga fluid every day. That's my point. Exactly, and you need to accept that. You know, let me tell you what I used to think. I used to work.
You need to accept that. Just finish that point.
You need to accept that
money comes in.
Money, yes, but let me just add on to it. When over the years I used to say, Mimi, sitawai kuwa broke. I am going to work my ass off and ensure that I always have money. But you will work and work and work, and for some reason, like you will never know what that reason is. Or yes, you'll save. Yes, you'll invest. Like maybe you may end up being not fluid because you have allocated your money elsewhere, or something just comes about na pesa inaenda. And accepting, or rather not attaching your worth to material possessions and money is the best thing you can ever do for yourself. Because I'm broke today does not mean I'm any less of a person. No. It is just for a season. Kesho nitapata, siku ingine itaisha. Na nitakuwa tu sawa.
Check your venyo na kuangalia.
Yeah.
Kwa sawa. Kwa sawa niko misko sawa.
Me, that for me, that is my anger. Because wait, let me finish. Because I think I've had the hardest relationship with money, because that's also another relationship. Because pesa ni kitu nilikuwa hivi. You know, hiyo fujo ya unatafuta hiyo pesa. You know when you but see, as much as I used to. Reduced.
Serious?
Kabisa. Yeah, nime reduce yo. Squeezy I go. Yeah.
Kumbe 5 years ago ilikuwa rahisi.
Alafu unajua ukitafuta kitu na finyo.
Ndio nika
ukingangana kuichase ina run away from you. So I learned to just relax. Yani, do what you know you're supposed to do it well,
and give it your best,
and let God do the rest.
Amen.
Ken, what is your point?
Ken kwanza anajua so much about money.
Immature God.
But anyway, my point was actually just like what you were saying. Like in money, there are many things. One, there is making money. 2, there is spending money. 3, there is investing money.
Yes.
So isn't it different things with money? Keeping money,
multiplying
money, having an emergency. Different things. You can be perfect at making money, but very poor at spending.
Yes, that's true.
I'm a
opposite.
You feel like you're good at making and bad at spending.
Yeah, that's very true.
Unapata saa mwingine ako bad at making and good at spending. So he generally unaweza pata like and save a lot or something of this sort. But anyway, the most important thing I think in your 20s is to figure out a way whereby, like, learn so much about yourself with money, though. At least in your 30s, you spend the same cycle.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying with me is you have observed that you have a pattern with money, or everyone has a pattern with money in a cycle, and you either do two things: you either accept it or change it. Like Caleb do alisema, like
zile
persist, when you decide like to come up with an effective plan, which at least 5 years down the line is going to be at the same position like you are 5, 6.
That's very true, actually. Learning from self-introspection na self-reflect ya Mungu is the most important thing you can ever do for yourself. Yani unakaa chini unasema na 3 months ago nilikuwa hapa na do saisi na what happened.
Nimekula sherehe.
You know, knowing where your priorities are. Kama ni sherehe, ama also, you know, there are people who you make so much money and then you invest everything. Alafu unabaki bila. Aje. Mimi nimeona creating a life of balance. Actually, it's the best thing.
But it's
it's very hard, but you must try. And I feel like, okay, for me, for me to be happy, not really to be happy, but the whole essence of balance and everything. Pesa nimepata, yes, nimetafuta, nimetengeneza nikapata. Nimesave, nimeinvest, emergency fund iko hapo, nimejiwekea sasa yangu yenye nitaspend on myself pia hapo. Balance. You don't have to nini unatafuta hiyo hadi unakufa. It's not ati
si na pesa na kuspend because me am a spender. Si must. Like as in like
most purchasing decisions.
Yeah, like kitambo when I was in uni, guys, I used to be buying shoes, like, okay, still do, like nobody's business. Says sina job, but niko na pesa ya viatu. Imefika point, si must. Izi wacha niva hizo, ziishe basi. Na pia pressure ya kuspend pesa, sijui, the way you see people, sijui they have what on IG or wherever, sijui they are doing what. Si must.
Kwanza, that's the worst thing. Like Instagram and social media is such a huge fat lie. Like if you ever feel the pressure or you know that jealousy ako ka kitu unaangalia mtuko na huyu
anatoa pesa,
you never know what people are doing on ground. Love that. For some people inheritance. Wengine maybe the parents has
left them money.
But who would you blame? The person who's comparing themselves.
The person who's comparing themselves.
That's a you problem. Yeah, so if you need a break from social media, it's not even a break. It's you to change your mindset. Oh my God.